So what's up, guys? So we are going to continue talking. Yeah, hello. So all right, so now that I hear a song that says what up, I'll tell you guys the importance of simply saying, you know, what up to people. You'll be surprised. It is 35. Tells me I messed up trying to look at my watch, but here we go again. So the importance of saying what's up to people. You know, as a young kid, you know, a shy individual, and I'll admit that I'm still struggling with this today. Like, I had the inability to simply say hi to people. You know, when I was in these social interactions or social settings, whether it may be a party or a meeting or orientation, hello, like that place was specifically made for people to meet each other. You know, it's one of, like, I think the top places that married couples meet is like through orientation, right? As clear cut as that may be, I would still ignore that. Like, I almost didn't feel like suitable, or like, you know, just not worthy enough of meeting other people. You know, as simple as that may be, you know, the simple act of going up, introducing myself, saying hi, whatever you define, you know, as a valid introduction, you know, felt quite hard for me. I didn't find it to be the easiest thing in the world to do. So, you know, learning, you know, that small act of saying hello. You know, there was even an exercise that I did where, like, someone told me this, where, like, I got in front of a mirror, and I suggest, you know, if you're really struggling with this, for you to do this as well. You know, you get up in front of that mirror and you simply repeat, you know, what you're gonna say. You just say, what's up? And you say what's up to yourself. You do it 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, you know, as much as it takes, you know, as long as you get that overall gist of whoa, ow, shoulder hurts. Sorry, I got caught up in that beautiful soccer and basketball arrangement. And that we'd love to play that right now. Hi. Hey. So what was I saying? Yeah, you know, that simple act, I would go, and people have actually walked in on me doing this, and that I was like the craziest person in the world. So if you're like doing this, you might want to like do it in a private area, or like an area that you know that like no one would come and bother you. So yeah, we still have shoulder problems, so that hurt a little bit. So we always got to keep that in mind. That little extra lift, you know, that we had to do. But you know, that being said, you know, that repetition, you know, of doing that act over and over again, I got so used to it that when I would go in front of the mirror, I would think the person staring back at me, which essentially was myself, was a random person. And after a while, I started to not care. You know, I DGAF'd, you know, and you can interpret that, you know, to yourself. But, you know, that simple act of doing that made it so much easier. Made it so much easier when I went out, you know, in these public settings where I'd see these people, and I would just go back to look at them almost like the mirror version of myself. You know, when I'm going in front of that mirror, it didn't feel like this hostile scenario where, oh, where like I'm putting myself out to be judged. You know, essentially it was just like how the mirror was. And you can argue that putting myself in front of that mirror, I didn't have a chance for a positive reaction. So what that did was made me just learn to do it, not for the sake of outcome, not for the sake of making a friend, or not because when I did that in front of the mirror, I was just trying to make a friend. It was literally impossible. You know, of course you want to say that like you are your best friend. You want to be almost in love with yourself. You want to be your own best friend. Like you don't want to be your worst enemy. Of course, there's that concept. But you know what that did was it disconnected me from the reward. You know, that reward that, you know, meeting a new friend or a new lover. And if you don't, you know, experiencing that rejection, because what you come to realize is that that experience of doing it in front of the mirror, you're essentially dealing with a rejection. You're getting, you know, you're not getting what you want. You're not getting the outcome. So when you go out and do it, you don't care, you know, when you're out in public and someone doesn't give you what you want, right? So with that, you know, you almost come from nothing. You know, how can you lose? You know, it reminds me of a quote used by Miguel Cabrera, where it's like, how can I, you know, fail at something, or how can I fall short? You know, when I came from nothing. You know, when I came from just being a guy in front of a mirror talking to himself, you know, probably looking crazy, you know, to others, but you're still that same dude, you know, that crazy guy with nothing, you know, where it's just him in the mirror. No girl, no friend, just you. You know, and that's crazy. Oh, bro. As crazy as that may sound, you know, why do that? So, with that in mind, and no, I was not mad, that friend, and that guy in that car, because he gave me like a what? Like, what are you doing, bro? Essentially, you know, that guy didn't make me mad. I was not mad. I was simply redirecting his energy back at him, because, you know, I had to go around the sidewalk. I had an older individual in front of me that I, you know, didn't want to bump into, so I had to go around. So why am I even explaining that? Just so you guys understand what just happened. So who cares? Who cares? I'm still that guy in the mirror. You know, and believe it or not, I did this in front of the mirror. I juggled in front of a mirror. No, I looked at myself while I was doing it and didn't really care, you know, what other people think. No, I don't need any applause or congratulations or anything. I just do this for me. And whatever you do in life, you should do for you. You know, you be that guy in the mirror. You know, simply just practicing it for you and reflecting on how you did, which is what you want to do. So, you know, lose, you know, cut off that, you know, need for outcome, your ties to it, that, you know, neediness, right? You might hear that big concept of neediness in dating, and, you know, that resonates with me now, especially, you know, thinking about this, because like, what is neediness in dating, right? When you're needy, it's like you have someone that may not be, you know, the most useful content for you to take in. You know, how useful is it for someone to call you, you know, ugly or weird or stupid or any, you know, insert gross term here, right? Why would you want to constantly be taking that in, right? That negativity. You want to have, you know, high feelings or high, you know, self-worth. And how can you do that if you're constantly, you know, berating yourself, allowing other people to dump negative feelings onto you? And that's not to say, like me, I like to take those negative feelings, those negative judgments, and turn those into positive ones. I love it when people call me, you know, horrible things, right? Stupid, whatever, weird, dumb. I like it. It's fuel. You know, it makes me want to, you know, prove them wrong and go harder at what I'm doing. You know, not take it in, sit down and cry, you know, feel miserable, right? Because you can obviously do that. And, you know, to me, I can't, because I understand, you know, that I want to win, right? I want to come out on top in my life. And if I succumb to those, you know, negative feelings and behaviors and influences, then they've won, not me, right? As sad as I may be, because their goal is to bring you down. You know, who wants to have that goal? In and of itself, that's pretty loser-ish behavior, if you ask me. You know, I hate to do that to others, right? To lower them down and try to make them feel worse. You know, just try to boost myself up, because that's what they're doing, is they're trying to bring you down to boost you up, right? They want to make you feel bad, right? Because in the end, they want you to be lower than them, right? That's their own little backwards way of boosting themselves up, because a lot of them are afraid to just go to the gym or the library or the workplace or the office and put in the work and put in the hours, because that's not for everyone. That's hard. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort. But you know, it doesn't mean that you can't do that, right? They may not want to do that, want to put in all that effort and time, but you break that trend. You don't succumb to that. You don't buy into their BS, you know, bringing you down and taking you with them. No, you chart your own path, right? You know, go on about your business for you. Make yourself better.